for the first time.
Yeah. What's good, guys? Welcome to the Council Comics Live podcast number 8. Be back in 30 seconds. What is good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the live podcast. This is episode number 8. We're going to be talking about NYCC 2020 Comic Con and our continuing series of the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase
2022
Part 2. Let's go. Yeah. Shout out to Madness. Yeah. Rogue Nation 845. Bro. Did I mess that up? Did I say 2020?
You said 2020.
Yeah,
you are the embodiment of COVID ruining our lives because time stopped working in 2020 and it's all been downhill.
I'm still in that phase, right? All right, so welcome everybody. Thank you for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe below. I'm trying to get the subscribers up. Plus, you'll also be entered in future giveaways. If you're watching on Facebook, at some point get over to YouTube, please, and subscribe to the channel. Tonight we are talking about our Comic-Con experience, New York 2022, which was phenomenal. It was my first Comic-Con. It's Cliff's 300th Comic-Con by how many people he's known there and everything. We'll tell a funny story about how Cliff got to go there. But we also got Green Shirt Guy here. What's up, Green Shirt Guy?
What's up?
Chilling. Thank you for being a soldier through all this. Cliff, was good?
How are you?
Good.
I'm still recovering from Comic-Con, so I'm just sitting here like, yep.
So Cliff has estimated that we walked about 8 miles.
8 to 10.
Did you walk from? Did you take the train down?
No, it's from the garage in and around. So my phone is recording my steps, right? So based on my movement, it was like 8 to 10 miles.
That's fair. The phones actually are fairly accurate. I used to use that myself.
So I was like shocked, but also like I was telling Sam, I was like really beaten up the next couple of days. And I was like, but I've walked 10 miles before. It's unpleasant, but like everything hurts.
I mean, it was a lot. Plus I was carrying the backpack. And I had film equipment in another bag, soldiering it up. But by the end of the day, man,
that's what it is.
Crap.
When we were headed back to the car, Anthony and Nicole joined us, right? So they started carrying stuff too to get out of there. And it was like, but we were all carrying stuff as we're leaving. My shoulders were on fire. And I was like, where is this parking garage?
We'll show a little bit of it, but we want you guys to go to the channel so that you can, like the video and see what we got. But let me mute this here.
Oh, Cliff, you didn't dress up.
Oh, there's a funny shot in here. There's a funny shot of Cliff looking at a bunch of shirts from a vendor that looks like he's got a shirt just like him, and it's a classic. But we went into Comic-Con. We went into the wrong building at first, but I guess we went in there for a reason because we got the program guides from there and everything. Then they told us it was all the way down the block, so we had to walk down the block, and then we got to the entrance. And what's funny is because you would think after all that stuff online and IDs and all this guy does is he comes and he scans your ID, say, "Hey, buddy, you're good, you can go," and then you just go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. They still check your bag on the way in, though, right?
No, they didn't check our bag.
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah,
because like our bags didn't set off the sensor, so they were like, okay.
Yeah,
that's wild. Every time I've gone, they definitely, I had a backpack with books in it, and they, I unzip it, they look at it, yeah, you're good, but like at least they make you open it.
Yeah, they clearly. I don't know if they had another machine that could tell if our bags were good, but they didn't check us. But
Huh.
this was the waiting point.
This is when I was holding the camera. I could tell.
And I said, wait a minute, looks a little crooked. Crooked.
No.
Let's go.
A really high crane shot. That was me. Like, ah.
What time did you guys get there?
9.
Like 9:30. It was like 9:30.
Well, okay. Look,
like...
we were at the parking garage at 9:06, right?
Okay.
So between that, the wrong entrance, and everything, let's say that we were there at 9:30 at this entrance, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's funny because at 10 o'clock, it's like, why aren't they letting us in? What's going on? And that's when we did our first interview. And just no sooner did we wrap up with that young lady, and it was like, boom, doors are open.
Yeah, we did a little interview with a Princess Leia cosplayer. What happened? Cliff says you know her. When she told her name, you were like, oh, I know you.
Yeah, well, no, afterwards I realized that I know her, not indirectly. Like, she's friends with my other cosplay friends.
Right on.
So I was like, I'm like, oh.
See, I've never had to do any of this. Every time I've gone, I've had to work in the morning and got on the train right after work. So I get there, and I walk from Grand Central. So I get there like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I just walk in because everything's bumping.
And you know what? That's probably the smart thing, because we didn't miss anything.
You really don't, unless you're trying to get to like one of the exclusive booths and be first in line. But most of the time you have to have a ticket or whatever anyway. So it's not like you're not going to get it. You just want to be, I was here first.
Yeah. And the line went pretty quick.
Some people, it depends on who you are, right? I actually wrote this to you, right, Sam? Where I was like, the Comic Con experience is uniquely different for the individual, right? Mm-hmm. Some people are obsessed with getting exclusives. Some people want a little bit of everything, right? Like, kind of like me. Like, I want an exclusive, so I got to be there and get my exclusive. But I also want to be at Artist Alley. I also want to be in Social's panel. So you really got to like work your whole 4 days around wanting a little bit of everything. Or some people are just there for the panels, and that's their whole thing. Some people are cosplayers, and they just want to run around the whole time looking like a Darth Vader and being amazing, you know?
Right now, Mark Robin Tabini says Ronaldo looks like he's wearing a mask.
What? All right.
He's trying to burn you up, bro.
Mark, turn up.
There must be all that seawater in your eyes from the hurricane.
Oh, burn.
No, I hope you're good, Mark. I haven't seen you in a while.
So yeah, this is Artist Alley down here. We're walking around this thing, and I'm filming, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is pretty cool. And
it's a little more open than last year.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We got to meet a lot of dope people. Cliff knew like half of them, but
it was very exciting.
I didn't get to get any Peach because once I seen the lines, I was just like, I really want a Peach. I really want a Peach signature, but I was like, I don't want it that bad to wait in a line for like 3 hours.
Right. You know what, though? I really regret it, because it wouldn't have been 3 hours, maybe an hour at the most. I should have talked you into staying on that line.
They move pretty quick once you're in line.
Yeah,
and we were maybe for next time.
No, next time definitely, and I'm going to force you to just commit, because a lot of people had like little lines, and we did very well with the little lines. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. I felt very lucky, like, because Zeb Wells, like, we saw him Thursday. That was amazing, dude. I saw his line for Saturday. It was crazy.
Yeah, we got to speak to Zeb. He's one of my faves now. He's cool.
Oh yeah, he's so great.
The trick really is, if you're going to do a lot of signatures and that kind of thing, if you're going multiple days, what I always do on the first day, if I'm going to be going, say, 2 or 3 days, is you walk around, and they'll have what time they're going to be signing on their tables. I just take snap with my phone. I'll walk everybody I want to see, and then you can kind of schedule it out, if you will.
Well, it also depends. It's so much more than that, man, because, it depends on what you really want. Sometimes,
that too.
Sometimes you want an autograph because you love somebody, and sometimes you want that CGC autograph. You could still love them, but you want that CGC, and so you got to get to CGC and start calculating immediately.
Right. Absolutely.
But there's a part of the video where I talk about, I actually like the arrangement they had. I like that they were
Jamal,
oh my God. I felt like $1 million. I felt like $1 million.
Remind me to show you this drawing I did either after this or on Tuesday. It's Jamal Igle and 2 other people. I'll explain later.
Oh my God,
you got too long now, but remind me.
Yeah, I will remind you because that sounds amazing. But like, anyhow, I felt like $1,000,000. It was so nice to see him, for him to get up and give me a hug like that. It was just like, oh, I'm with my people.
That was pretty cool.
The
love they showed to you is very, very sincere.
Yeah. Well, you got to think about it. Like, I started hitting shows hard in 2008, right? And like that shows. Oh my God! Look at him.
We ran into this guy over there. But you know what's funny about it? Hold on.
Did he smile?
What's funny about it is that he didn't even know.
There he is.
We saw Paul and we saw Franklin over there.
I love how Paul's putting his mask on now that he sees you.
But then he didn't know. He was like, hey buddy, what are you doing over there? He's like, shit, I'm caught. His thing was funny. But then I was told there was a upstairs.
you didn't even know.
I didn't even know there was a.
I kept telling him, don't worry, we'll go upstairs, because I didn't want to go upstairs without seeing Zeb Wells first.
I knew there was an upstairs. I just thought that was a couple little things.
I genuinely did not understand that Sam did not understand. Like, I figured, like, oh, you must have seen pictures and videos from other Comic Cons, but no, the look on Sam's face when we get here, oh my, like the color drain from his face.
It was too much, man. It was sensory overload.
What I love is when you go up. It happens a little bit in Artist Alley too. But when you're upstairs and you're like, oh, I want to go to this, and sometimes you almost just have to follow traffic. You kind of go the direction you want to go. And you're like, well, I can't go that way, but if I make like 4 lefts here, I can go around, and then it's generally the direction I want to go. Because if I try to go straight, I'm going to be standing here for.
I'm a beast, Sam. I'm a beast, right?
Oh, you set blocks and you ran behind
You're
him?
a beast. I was just following him everywhere.
No, I was like, we need to get to 3185. And he's like, why? And I was like, I need to see my friends. Let's go.
This freaking camera.
Oh, there it is. Did you get it?
No, that's number 5.
Oh,
that's number 5.
Right, that's right.
Broke my heart.
That's right. That's the one I was telling you. I have 2 5s, 2
I'm still here.
10s, 11, and 12, I think.
Crazy.
I gotta figure out why my camera overheats all the time. So I gotta switch.
Because you're bringing that fire.
Okay.
That's pretty tame right there.
Yeah.
For me, but see, I'm a book hunter. You know what I mean? Like, and for so many things, I realize now you got to come with at least $1,000 if you want to get.
If you want to get like some of your dream list, you got to come with at least $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
But that's if you really want to be a book hunter at any show. And I know that sounds like a little crazy for me to say, but like if that's your biggest thing, then yes, you should bring money for your biggest thing. But I don't feel like it's uncommon for people. Not everybody, obviously, some people have a tight budget. But I don't think it's uncommon for a lot of people where this is their one big thing a year for them to bring $1,000, for them to spend $1,000 or $2,000 over 4 days.
Yeah,
I don't
like
spend
this opened
quite that
my
much,
eyes to the whole thing.
But yeah,
like it opened my eyes to how big this community is. This community is huge.
This community's been huge.
CGC,
I love this. I love how this is where I'm on a rampage and you're following. This is so great. Because it was cute. If you notice, I do look back to make sure that Sam is still there. Every so often.
There you go. And for those of you at home, this is not sped up.
No, it's never. Like,
you're right.
This is like, I'm here. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. I love it so much. It just makes me happy. She loved it too, by the way.
Yeah, she watched it. That's cool.
She watched it. She loved it. Just when I put up the photos, she was so happy. Her husband was happy. And it's so funny because he's the talent. She just became my friend after the first time I met them.
That's good. They was cool people.
They are great, and they work so hard.
What's their thing? Shout out their thing.
Oh, that is Terry Huddleston Art, and if you look in the comments of our YouTube, I have his links in the comments.
Right on.
And I have Riley Brown's links. I have everybody's links that I could find. I put them there. But seeing first when I got the hug from Jamal, that was like really amazing. Once I saw Leia, like I just remembered like everything I really enjoy about going to these shows, like just start coming back to me, and then forget it. Then I started seeing other people who I just really love, and it just that whole concept of this community came back to life inside me. And because it had kind of been dead for a while.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of that response because of our stuff. Our stuff is making people realize how much they love comics.
I love it. Oh, my cousin watched it today, by the way. This one, and he was like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "I actually felt like I was there." And he goes, "And this thing is huge compared to Ottawa Comic Con."
Yeah.
And Ottawa Comic Con is pretty big.
I was sitting in a panel last year in Baltimore, and the thing one of the quotes that I remember from that entire week, because I always go for the full show, was I was sitting in a panel, and I think it was one of the panelists was like, "This is it was like the first show that I'd been to. Everything was starting to open up again." And she said, "This is the reunion that nobody realized that they were missing. These are all. Yep. This is like your family that you forgot you had." I'm like, "Oh, you're so right. You couldn't be more right."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true, and it's funny because I felt it here, and I think I started to feel it this year, right? Because I did Terrificon with my friend Dave, right? And like the feelings started to surface. Ottawa Comic Con, like that was more of a family trip in my mind, so it was still cool. I love seeing Gail Simone and all that stuff, and George St. Pierre was amazing, but the like 5 seconds I actually was near him, but like
and smelled him.
Yeah, but like but other than that, like this is the one that like reignited a fire inside me. And actually, I have to thank Sam. Sam is the original fire igniter. I don't even remember what we were doing. Like Sam, do you remember what the first thing we were doing? Where you're like Cliff, come on, be part of this, be part of my YouTube.
No, this started as like I was getting back. Okay, let's start from the beginning real quick. I have been out of this scene for a long, long time. I would, occasionally every 4 or 5 months, maybe go into a comic book shop just to look at it, be like, oh, this is fun, blah, blah, blah. But then COVID came and I got laid off, all that. And I was laying in my bed and I was like, I need to figure out something. And I have my comics on my wall. Like, let's see if I'll show you real quick. Can you see back there? See that wall right there?
Right on.
So it's a lot nicer now. It was crazy before. But I'm lying in my bed and I'm looking at comics and I'm watching YouTube videos about comics and all that. And I'm getting like somewhat frustrated sometimes with people with their videos. And I was like, I can do this. And I came up with the name, the Council of Comics. I started making like little designs for it because I'm one of those things that if you start writing it and you put it in paper, put it in motion, that things will manifest itself. They don't just manifest because you speak it, but you have to start doing things. Like I'm making this logo because it's going to be the logo of my future company, blah, blah, and speaking into it. And then I didn't have a comic shop, so I was visiting every comic shop in the area. I visited about 40, 50 within the 2-hour area over the whole COVID experience. And then it was me and Sean and Steve when they were part of the super hunting squad that we had. They're the original guys on here. But we went to Hyde Park, and that was before he moved into the shop he's at now.
Is that right?
Small shop. Yeah. And we said what's up to him, blah, 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 this and that. And then he moved, and we went down there. And then gradually, he just became our comic shop. Then, I was making videos about all the other comic shops that I was visiting. And then I noticed myself going every Tuesday, and I just started filming, and then just gradual. Cliff came in because Cliff had always been there, but I would always hear Cliff's name in the conversation, and Anthony would be like, "Oh, wait a minute, you know Cliff?" Da, 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 and I'd be like, "Yeah, I know Cliff." And then eventually, it was just like everything coming together. There was no bam. It was just a slow burn.
It was, but I wish I could remember specifically. There was like one time where you're like, Cliff, come and get over here and be in this video. I'm like, okay. And then like there was another time where I was like, oh, we're just gonna do this. All right, we're doing it.
When I come to directing, I'm like, you go here, you go there. You don't like it, all right, we'll just do it anyway.
Yeah,
we'll just do one for fun.
I put up a good fight for where I like to be.
But
I put up a good fight.
It's your classic case of it just of where it's at right now. Like it just I don't know how to explain it. It just week by week, it just became what it is. You know what I mean? And it doesn't just do that on its own. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but it's my passion, and you know what I mean. I'm happy to do it with people who have the same passion. You know what I mean?
It makes me happy too. I get excited. I get excited when you guys are excited. You know, Josh has been super excited. Like the last week, it makes me so happy.
Yeah,
you know,
it's fun. Like, it's good when you see people see what it is and like, this is good. Like, I want to be a part of this, and that's the whole point of me calling it the Council of Comics. Because at any point, it's not just gonna be us three. It'll be Anthony in here. It'll be revolving because we're a council. It's multiple. Right. You know what I mean? There may be mainstays, but it's meant to be that.
God,
maybe we'll get Joey in here one of these weeks.
We'll get Joey in here one of these days. All right. So now, come on. For the reasons we came in here. That was fun. That was good. We love it. We love it all. But now we're going to get into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Phase 4, Part 2. We're going to extend this to a Part 3. And what we're going to... I don't like that. Music's not... We need hyped up music. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do today is the Eternals. We're going to do... What was that? Was that you, Cliff? The Eternals, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, and Miss Marvel. So it's basically a Disney Plus somewhat. And then next week we'll finish off Phase 4 with Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Thor: Love and Thunder. Right? All right. So let's get this started with
the
Eternals.
Keep doing this.
The Eternals. Now, people, there's mixed reviews on this movie. You know what I mean?
You know, it's so funny, right? Because I wish people would look back on this and go, wow, that movie's really spectacular after I've seen Love and Thunder.
Yeah, right?
Most of the comments I read online were like so weird. Like a lot of people felt like the Eternals needed separate movies like the Justice League. And I'm like, that's not who the Eternals are. No. They come as a freaking package. Hate to break it to you.
I mean, it's a beautiful movie.
It looks
visually,
great. It does.
It's amazing visually.
I think it captures a lot of the mythology of the Eternals and the mythology that it leaves as an impact on human life, right?
Right. So basically, the Eternals are responsible for everything the humans have created throughout the years, somewhat. They remember they're only allowed to nudge ever so gently. Yeah.
Right.
So this movie has the Eternals. It answers the question of why they never showed up in Infinity War and Endgame, because basically they were told that they couldn't interfere in the matters of humans. So now thousands of years have passed, and see, this is the problem. Like, What is the Eternal story? What is the main thing of the Eternals?
Their job is to seed this world with enough human life so that when it implodes, it can seed other worlds. That's literally that's the.
But also give birth to a celestial.
Right. I'm sorry. That too.
Which will destroy the world.
That celestial
Which would destroy the world
unless there's enough energy and life on Earth.
Okay. Now this takes a turn from the comics because in the comics, the Eternals were actual beings, correct? And now in the movies, they're kind of like androids, a little bit.
I don't know if they're androids, right? Aren't they? They're just created by the Celestials to do a job. So I don't know if they're androids so much as they're engineered beings. They're
engineered beings because why do they have a full range of emotions?
Yeah.
Right.
And then also, I guess it's an easier explain of how they could come back. You know what I mean? Because once they die, they can come back.
Yes. And also, come back in new forms.
Also in this movie is our favorite, Mr. Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Kit Harington.
I hope the Black Knight.
He plays, what's the guy's name? Dane something?
Dane Whitman.
Dane Whitman. He doesn't turn into the Black Knight in this movie, but his character's introduced and, Cliff got disconnected. His character got introduced and he's got a little thing going on with Cersei.
Right. At the end, in the end credits scene, are we supposed to know that that's Blade talking to him?
Yes, that is Blade at the end credits.
Based
scene.
on what though?
His voice, and that is Mahershala Ali.
If you're a big MCU fan and you read all the stuff, yeah, you know that. But if you're a casual fan who literally only goes and sees the movies when they go, oh yeah, another Marvel movie's out, I'm gonna go see this. You don't know that voice.
Yeah, that's one of the mistakes. They've made a lot of mistakes when it comes to this phase.
The easiest way to fix that is to have a back shot where you don't see Mahershala Ali's face. You just see a silhouette of him from behind.
Yeah.
Saying it, and you see Jon Snow in the background. That's the easiest way to fix that.
The thing is, that was created during COVID. So
okay.
The reason why you only hear his voice is because they weren't in the same room. You know.
Okay, but here's the thing. You don't even have to use Mahershala Ali. You just use a shadow. Since you're
I think it was important to use his voice and make sure.
No, use his voice, but I get that. What I'm saying is, if to get him in the same room, if that's not possible, who cares who it is? If you're showing a shadow anyway, a silhouette, so you know that.
Well, because I think it's important to use his voice because you need to know it's him, right? And they want it when they wanted people to wonder. What the hell was that? Like, because people were talking about it for like a good week before they finally said that was Blade. Like, they wanted some anticipation. They wanted some speculation. They wanted people to get fired up. I respect that. I respect that. By the way, I've never been a tremendous fan of Angelina Jolie, and I was blown away by her as
she was good in this.
Athena, I couldn't believe it.
Her
Athena.
boyfriend, whatever you want to call him.
Gilgamesh.
I thought he was phenomenal.
Gilgamesh, yeah.
He was phenomenal. His death was like heartbreaking. Yeah. Like I actually cared. I was like really upset. And the way they turned it into motivation for her got me so excited.
I liked who was the guy that control people's minds?
Druid.
Yeah, he
was my favorite. He was my favorite.
Far.
Yeah.
Yo, him and who's the speedster?
Starts with an S. I can never remember.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll look it up. Give me 1 sec.
While he's looking that up, so the story of this, the Celestial, they want to birth another Celestial.
Sprite.
And
nope.
No.
Makari.
Oh
yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Makari. So there's just like a lot of different little lines through this movie, but the basis of it is the Celestial is going to be born. They need to stop it. One of the Eternals is Icarus, right? Is that his name? Icarus. The plot twist is that he's turned. He's rather be with the celestial being. What's that celestial's name?
Well, he's not turned. It's a big look at everything that's going this way. You know, this is the way the story's going, but really this is the way it's been going this way the whole time. And he's you know, he found out really what their mission is, but didn't want to tell anybody.
Right, and he's like we should be following the will of Ashram.
Correct.
And it was like, nope. Like, and it's so slick too, because oh my god, I forgot everybody's name. Everybody's name is gone now.
Which character? Which character?
Selma Hayek.
Oh, that's Ajax.
I don't know. Ajax. Yeah.
So Ajax, when Ajax was like, "Yo, let me make sure if I'm dead that this orb goes to the next person who actually cares about humans."
Right.
So you get to basically the end scene where they fight, you know, Icarus, and they're trying to stop the Celestial from being born, and Cersei does a little magic thing. The Celestial is actually coming out of the earth, but she's managed to kill him in some way of taking away his life or freezing him. And
well,
now,
remember, she could transmute matter, right?
Right.
And she needed the Celestials to come together to magnify her power, which they did.
Right.
It allowed her to actually transform the birthing Celestial.
Yeah.
And because her power was still amplified, she was able to turn Sprite into a real girl.
Right. I thought Icarus's death was weak, though.
Well, he flew into the sun.
Yeah, I'm like, really? Yeah. You fought this whole time and then you wussed out at the end? I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, he didn't.
To me, it makes more. I just think it makes more sense for him to kind of go off and, you know, the far-flung
just disappear, right? Just
thing.
Like, I'm out of here.
Okay. No. All right. I mean, no.
What do you mean, no?
No, I have to fight this, right? Because now we got to talk. Now we have to have a very serious talk about suicide. Okay, suicide usually occurs. Okay. Yeah, because he commits suicide. I'm sorry that we have to go there, but I want you to understand, his entire sense of purpose was completely shattered. That would send any normal person into a horrible set of a mental set of grief and despair. He was
right, but not all people that get into that mental set kill themselves either.
Yeah. No, but they come really close.
I get where you're going, and I don't dispute that if you're in like that, you're in a dark space. I don't dispute that. For me, the ending rung hollow for him. I thought he could have.
I agree with you. I thought then you could have had a little more.
And
I also see what Cliff is saying with the symbolism of it.
You know, now, despite my feelings on that and the symbolism, I will also say he's one of the Eternals. They clearly proved that they could reconstruct them however they want, whenever they want. So it's a little bit hollow, period, because he can always come back.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
I do think symbolically it nailed it. Move on to the next one.
End credit scene on this. Go ahead.
The only other thing that gets me about this movie is when the hand comes out at the end, right? And they stop it. What is the rest of the world saying?
Yeah, that's one of the big line markers. Saying, nobody's really.
And then it stops. Nobody's talking about it. It's never brought up again.
Well, that'll be
we don't know
headquarters pretty soon.
I feel like this falls later in the timeline of all the things that we've witnessed. Because either the next movie we get that takes place after this, everyone's going to be talking about it, or B, it's going to be like one of those things in Doctor Strange where like we've already been through so much, nothing phases me anymore. I'm happy to wake up in the morning,
That's fair.
Or they'll put it in the timeline in the future, like this really takes place over here.
Yeah, I think it takes place a little bit later because not only is that thing coming out of the ground and she froze it, but Ashram made himself known to the entire planet Earth and pulled 3 of the Celestials into the palm of his giant celestial god hand and took off. Everyone saw that. Everyone saw that,
including us in the theater. So,
especially us in the theater.
The end end credits. The end credit sequence. See what's going on here? The end credit sequence is Star Fox, Harry
And Pip the
Styles,
Troll.
Star Fox, and Pip the Troll. And he's basically got an orb and stuff, and he's like, let's go find our friends, and boom.
Oh, let's go find your friends.
Yeah.
Right.
So next on the list, Moonizite.
I don't know why more people didn't enjoy the show. I thought it was brilliant.
I had fun with it. I didn't know enough about this character, to be honest with you. So I got to go in blind and just take it for what it was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty great.
Somebody had to explain the very ending at the the last episode to me a little bit, because I was like, well, wait a minute, what was? But other than that, I enjoyed it.
Well, if you were paying attention throughout the episodes, there was always signs of a third personality.
Well, that's not even it. I fully understood that. It was when he's in the car with Ethan Hawke.
Yes.
And you realize that Ethan Hawke is a crazy person too. And I was like, oh, and it made sense when somebody explained it to me. But I was like, wait, what? So.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, of course, he's a broken god who likes to pick broken people to be his avatar.
Right.
So this is starring Oscar Isaacs as the title character of Moon Knight.
Oscar Isaac.
It's about a guy named Stephen Grant.
No, yeah.
And Mark Spector.
It starts off with Stephen Grant. He learns he's got multiple personalities just to rush through stuff. One of these personalities is the Moon Knight. Yep. Mark Spector.
Yes.
I thought this was just really good. The way he just woke up out of certain places, he didn't know where he was. The way that he has his bedroom, like he wakes up and his leg is tied. Also, that.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. I keep hearing noises in my apartment. It's spooky time. Cliff.
Yes.
Can you continue on Moon Knight for a second? I gotta check something.
Sure. Grab a baseball bat. So Moon Knight is wonderful and does a lot of things. I'm a little sad that it's our title for exploring mental health.
It's fair.
But it does give us a new old superhero. It gives us the Scarlet Scarab.
What's interesting about this series, though, is that it's not tethered anywhere within the MCU, so they can slot it wherever they want to, whenever they decide to kind of, put it in.
Yeah, this is another one that I feel has to come later, Moon Knight, only because of that whole thing where everyone on the planet Earth saw the sky swooshing around, like moving through time.
How about the kaiju fight at the end?
The kaiju fight, I feel like it was noticeable also.
That's so great.
And the thing is, I really had a good time with the show. I thought the show was smart. It was serious. It was funny where it could be funny. But so many people were like, oh, he was barely Moon Knight. Oh, why was there a kaiju fight? And I'm like, what is with all these? This stuff is based on comic books. Where are you coming from?
Right.
It is very true. Very true. You gotta enjoy these things for what they are, man.
I mean, even in the comic books, if most hero books, and except for maybe the Avengers, they're not in their costumes the entire book. Most of it has to do with this is what's going on in my real life. Oh crap! Now I got to deal with this at night or during the day if I do something else at night.
I thought Oscar Isaac's performance was spectacular. He's basically portraying like 3 different people.
I thought Ethan Hawke was amazing, and
yes,
Oscar Isaac is the one who talked him into doing it. Have you ever seen that interview? He's like, "Hey, I'm doing this. You should come do it." And he's like, "All right."
I love it. I love it.
It doesn't have any. I guess it does when you talk about the gods. Does it have not that many Easter eggs for the other MCU
No.
projects.
No, but it
who
does
did the
show us
voice
that
of,
there are different domains for the different varieties of gods. And actually, I'm a little sad that we didn't see any of them in Love and Thunder. It would have been nice just to show one of them.
There was a scene cut from Moon Knight where the gods were talking about Gore going around killing other gods.
Oh, that's
is that right?
Yeah, that's a deleted scene. It's real quick. It's in that little temple spot, and they're like, with Gore going around, da 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 da. They just mention him real quick. You know what I mean? But
That's
they cut that out.
They should have left it.
Yeah,
it would have been a nice tie.
I'm almost wondering if they cut that because they don't want to let you know when this takes place.
Correct.
So leave
I
it nebulous so they can do it whenever they want to later.
Possibly. And then what was the female character that got she
Hold on, I got
his wife?
Was that his wife?
Oh, no,
Layla, Scarlet Scarab?
Yeah, Scarlet Scarab.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo,
and
dude,
was amazing.
We missed a girl cosplay Scarlet Scarab at Comic Con. Leah got a picture of it and sent it to me. Dude, she was amazing, and it just made me so happy. And me personally, even though the whole I don't want to be an avatar for a god, and then all of a sudden it's like, you're about to die. Okay, I'm gonna be an avatar for a god. Even though if that part felt very rushed, when she actually showed up in costume, flying, super straight, I was just so excited. She looked
she looked great.
You know, and when she grabbed that car and that little girl is like, "Are you a superhero?" And she's like, "Yes." And it was so beautiful, you know. It gave me those chills, and I don't know. There's certain moments, as corny as I love corny moments. I love those good, strong, corny moments. It was just a good, strong, corny moment that made me feel good.
Yeah. So this show ended with Moon Knight defeating. Well, he got Khonshu, right, to help him defeat Ethan Hawke's character, and then there's an end credit scene. Tell me if I'm missing anything, but pretty much he made a deal that Khonshu couldn't take over Mark Spector or Stephen Grant anymore.
Right.
But we find out that he's did a loophole and he's taken over Jack. Right.
Yep.
Which is the cab driver. So Khonshu's still in control, basically. But great thing. Want to see more of Moon Knight, and especially Scarlet Scarab, because they were phenomenal. All right, next on the list, Hawkeye.
Love this one.
Hawkeye's great.
Yeah, let me turn off this volume so we don't get. All right, so Hawkeye was great. It's about Hawkeye coming to terms with trying to get with his family again, but
after the blip,
some things come up. He meets Kate Bishop, and he's basically passing the mantle of Hawkeye onto her. But
cleaning up his Ronin mess.
He's cleaning up his Ronin
mess. I was
mess.
gonna say he is not passing on the mantle to her. He for 3 episodes, he's straight up telling her, "Stay out of this. It's too dangerous. You are a kid."
Right.
But he calls her Hawkeye.
No, he does eventually. No. The long game is passing the mantle to her. But it doesn't happen that quick. You make it sound like it happens quick.
I'm sorry. I just get to point A to point B.
Yeah, no. She does eventually get the mantle of Hawkeye. We find out that she's wealthy. Her mom is wealthy, but her mom is wealthy by being dirty. And we find out that her mom is dirty with none other than the Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the Kingpin is reintroduced in this series. It's said that this is a version of the Netflix series.
Yep, and we meet Echo.
And then we have this kind of going conflict about whether these characters are their Netflix characters. But even this past week, because we got to speak about Daredevil showing up in She-Hulk. Mm-hmm. Speaking this past week, the producer of the show said, "This is the Daredevil you know."
There you go.
Again, that is coded language, right? That is coded language and
soft reboot.
But even going off the She-Hulk episode, it feels like it's still in continuity, and they play his Netflix music.
Yes, you're right.
In the episode.
That is all well and good, but I can't let go that it's a soft reboot. I'm sorry.
It's okay to be wrong once in a while, Cliff.
Listen to me, Reynaldo. All right, I'm not wrong about this.
What I love, there's a lot of things I loved about this show, but this had one of my favorite scenes. Just the way they shot it, where they're in the car trying to get away from the tracksuit mafia,
classic.
and the camera angles you get to see from inside the car, and I thought that was so well done.
Remember? They blew up something and he couldn't hear, so he's basically going off of like how he sees and stuff like that. That was classic. Oh, and we can't forget our girl Florence. Pew 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 pew.
No, her showing up as Yelena was incredible. Because not only have I enjoyed her as the character in Black Widow, but here I enjoyed her thoroughly. Yeah. Like her character, I'm going to use the word mission, right? But you know what I mean. It's not necessarily a mission, right? And like her interactions with everybody, like her and Kate had such strong chemistry that I would gladly see a movie with the two of them on the same team.
Absolutely.
And the reason, just to get everybody cued in, the reason why she's showing up in here, because in the end credit scene of the Black Widow movie, Valentina shows her a picture of the person that killed her sister. And what's crazy about how she's introduced in here, we get to see her version of the blip.
Yes. I just watched that one before we started.
Yeah. We get to see what happened when the snap happened and then when she came back. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Because pre-blip, Natasha's still around.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then after the blip, she's got... Actually, the nice thing is she still has some people in her life. If she goes to seek them out, they're still there, So that's nice. And as we can tell by the reveal of the Thunderbolts, she will be reunited with at least one person who she almost considers family.
Yep.
Right. And
by
she
the
doesn't
way,
have... God.
I love his daughter, Clint's daughter.
She's pretty good.
I have this sneaking suspicion that they're going to make her another hero in some way, shape, or form.
Is she in the comics as well?
No. Yeah, because I don't even think the story that this is based on in the comics, I don't even think he has a family at the time this is going down.
And didn't they basically, with the Watch, more or less make
his wife Mockingbird? Yes.
Right. Yeah. But not maybe, and Mockingbird may be like a code name.
Exactly. And the daughter can take the code name.
Yeah.
Should be the new Mockingbird. That'd be something.
Yeah. Which would be our first MCU Mockingbird, because
Mockingbird.
The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it does though, because she'd be the S.H.I.E.L.D. one, but we never saw her.
Yeah.
Someone else who's introduced in this series is Echo.
Yes.
Who is getting her own Disney Plus show.
That'll also feature Kingpin and Daredevil.
And I'll tell you what,
Kingpin and Devil. Yep.
She's really good in this series, but the guy who plays her father kills it in the 2 episodes he's in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's not on screen for probably a half hour in the entire series, and he absolutely blows the doors off his scenes.
Yeah. So how this goes, basically toward the end, they're trying to get this watch back, pretty much.
Well,
his Ronin suit. Don't forget, that's another problem.
Ronin suit. He squares off. Wait, did he fight her in the last episode or the second to last episode?
Fight who?
Echo, second to last.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. They're fighting on the rooftop in the second to last.
Well, Florence Pugh, and then she's fighting him as well.
Yeah.
They have a little conversation. Yeah, and it basically finds out that he wasn't the one that killed her, and she's and she gets out of there. But the end was him and Kate Bishop with the fight at the Christmas tree.
Yes.
Right.
And then just after the fight with the Christmas tree, we see Kingpin escaping, except that he's encountering Echo when he's escaping.
Yeah, he rips the freaking door off the car and pulls her out. And Kingpin looks a little more comic book accurate, looking a little bigger. And then we just see some things like him being shot with missiles and everything, and he just manages to bounce back.
I just love that he's basically a mutant, but they weren't saying the word yet.
Yeah, and then he meets Echo and because he's kind of treated her like he's his daughter and stuff, and he kind of basically betrayed her. So she doesn't want anything to do with him. So she gets him in the alleyway, and she looks like she's going to shoot him, and it goes off camera, and you hear the gunshots. And that goes toward the comic book where she really does shoot out his eyes or something like that in the comic books. So, and I believe that's what we're going to see in the Echo show as it continues. And that's it for Hawkeye, right?
Yep. Great show.
Great show. Phenomenal.
Is there an end credit scene for this one? I can't. Oh, it's the musical. That's right.
Yeah,
yes, we actually get to see part of Rogers the musical.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Now, last one today is the Marvel Studios Ms. Marvel.
Woo!
Ms. Marvel is a series about a girl named Kamala Khan, who is part of a Pakistani family. And she gets these bands from her grandmother, or she technically is not supposed to have the bands.
She has one band. One.
There's one of the bands that's sent to her, and she gets powers, and she becomes the Ms. Marvel. Even that's Italian right there. But this is a great show for what it was.
I went in with no expectations. I will say that.
Yeah, it's a family show.
It was better than I was expecting, but I didn't love it.
This is a show you can sit down with the family and watch. I thought
it was just the right level of everything.
Yep.
Certainly a great family show. But it still felt like the Marvel Universe.
Right.
Right? I didn't feel like it got too far away from it.
Yeah.
So
I like her whole fandom of Captain Marvel.
Yep.
And she's a true
overactive
fan.
Imagination.
Yeah, they have like the way they do certain shots. It looks really cool, like animation and stuff. She has her sidekick, which is her friend. I forgot what his name was, but the boy. He's really smart. He actually comes up with something at the end that's pretty wild. She has a costume. Didn't her mom make the costume?
Her mom made the good one at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, her mom makes it after like getting on her before, which that's a classic shot right there from the comic book. Her sitting on the lamppost, by the way. She has a little struggle with her mom. It's kind of like old generation versus new generation, but you have like the older generation, the mid generation, and the young generation. The mom's the mid one, and she's kind of like doesn't know which way to pull. They end up going over to Pakistan, and they get a little closer during things. But she also meets up with some people over there that I forget how she gets involved with them.
Well, they're the Dagger, and they actually want to protect her. They understand that these people are the Jinn. They're from another dimension. And I mean, she's got a crush on the boy who's the son of the leader of the Jinn, who is the sister to her grandmother, which is why she starts this journey with only one negaband.
Kamara says, "Love Miss Marvel. The family dynamic was kiss." Chef's, I think.
I thought the stuff with the family, her and her family was great.
The stuff with her and her family was great. So I have a friend. He's in South Africa, and he's Pakistani. And from the first episode, he was crying because like everything that happened in the first episode, what's wrong with you? Why do you got to dress up? Why do you want to go to some comic book party? All of that has happened to him. And he's like, so like his sister, when they were watching it, was like, yo, are you making us watch this? Is this show about us? Right? And like, so, and he's like, he goes, no, he goes, but clearly the people who wrote the show understand me better than my family does.
Nice.
So, anyhow, he watched it with almost his whole family, the whole series, and he said he was like really emotional because it was beautiful, and it's the first time right? That not only did he feel represented, but by following this story, his mom and his sister actually understood him a little bit. They thought the journey was beautiful and thoughtful, and they told him, like, you know what? We watched it every week with you and we liked it. So
yeah. I thought it was great how, it kind of like shows the older generation like trying to be a part of the new, and the new one learning something about the old.
It did a beautiful job, and we had some serious, amazing casting. I mean, Zenobia Shroff is phenomenal as her mother, and and Nimra Buka as the villain. She is just spectacular. They have been in so many films that we don't necessarily appreciate in this country, and like it's incredible. So like they really picked up some Pakistani like film royalty to get in this series, and it's very impressive.
Yeah, I like the dad a lot. The dad was mad funny.
The dad was great.
When he dressed up like the Hulk and he's like, ah!
Yeah, that's right.
That's
right.
And that's
he didn't shave his beard, just painted his beard green too.
Yeah.
That's Mahan Kapoor.
Okay.
And he's an Indian actor. And by the way, it's really funny. He does a lot of dubbing roles for movies that come to America that are Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like since we're talking about this, we should shine a light on the fact that these people have like an amazing,
cast was great,
an amazing cast with a great background, and they brought this unique story very much to life. And I'm sorry more people didn't dig it, but I heard that in a lot of specific demographics, the show did very well. So that was good to hear.
Yeah.
And we got the word mutant.
Yes, we forgot about that. So something very important was brought into this. Her sidekick, buddy / future boyfriend, whatever they want to make him out to be. He's very smart, and he figured out that she has a mutation. And then in the background, the X-Men animated animated show music plays. So they have made Miss Marvel a mutant in the MCU, which is pretty, she was originally supposed to be a mutant in the MCU, but they changed her to an Inhuman because it was at the time where Fox owned the X-Men, and they didn't want to Marvel didn't want to give any help to Fox in any way, so they changed her to being an Inhuman. But now that they're back with Disney, they changed her origin back to where it is. Cliff, where are you at?
He's spitting that fire too. Both of you overheating your camera.
Spitting that fire over here. But Miss Marvel, very dope. Very dope. Very dope. Very dope.
It is dope. You need me to spin fire? What kind of fire do you need?
So the reason why we did these this time is because we want to focus on 3 major movies next week, which will be Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and Thor Love and Thunder, which will close out what we have so far for the MCU.
Just in time for us to go watch Black Panther.
And She-Hulk. She-Hulk will be done by then as well, so we can include She-Hulk in that wonderful, wonderful thing. So yeah, good show today. We talked about these shows. We talked about Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, Hawkeye, and the Eternals.
I want to say I'm glad we've done this phases review. Mm-hmm. Everyone's negativity about Phase 4 has like clouded me, right? Mm-hmm. But us reviewing Phase 4, I realize how much I actually like it.
There's a lot of good stuff. I think where Phase 4, I don't say falls on its face, but where it's getting criticism, I think it's because it's not a cohesive through line. There's not. You can't see where it's going.
There's lots of complaints about the comedy. Lots.
But
there's a little bit more comedy than usual.
That's a fair assessment, but there's also a lot of good, non-comedy stuff in it.
It gives me a thing like this.
We got Daredevil. We got
the tragedy that is
get introduced.
The tragedy that is Endgame, such a dark moment and everything, that they flipped the comedy was almost like it felt awkward. Like, okay, you guys are a little bit happy right now, and you just had the most monstrous thing happen to you guys, and equally dramatic them coming back.
Yeah, I feel Falcon and Winter Soldier so far is the best to cover that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Like that's the first one to take it head on.
Well,
Spider-Man,
you get the scene with Yelena and Hawkeye. That's pretty real.
Well, how about in WandaVision, where when Monica comes back?
Yeah,
in her mom's hospital room.
Yeah,
I mean, so we've had some people come back from the blip, and we've had some, and look how chaotic the hospital was when the blip happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
People showing up in every room, people who blipped out while they were in the middle of surgery now suddenly blipped in and is like, yo, what just happened here?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So that's episode number 8 of the Council of Comics. We went over New York Comic Con 2022. We talked Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 4, Part 2. Next week, we will do Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 4, Part 3. We'll cover Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and Thor, Love, and Thunder. For those of you that are watching, please subscribe below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, right after this video, in the bio of this thing right here, if you clicked in here, or just go to YouTube and look up the Council of Comics, you will see our thing there. Please subscribe, share our videos. Like, we also did there's one more thing we got to talk about.
Saturday.
I can't let Anthony down.
Saturday.
He gave me the wrong thing. Wrong thing.
That's not the wrong thing. That was just the thing he wanted us to not forget.
Okay, so this is going on tomorrow. All right, so tomorrow, let me share this page. There
it is.
All right, so tomorrow this is going on. October 10th, 2022. Alternaverse will be hosting airbrush artist Martin Zavala from 1 to 7 p.m. Christus Comics and Collectibles LLC, The Curse of Cleaver County Ashcan. He had these books. We kind of showed some in the new comic book day from a couple weeks ago, and it's pretty phenomenal. So if you can get out to Alternaverse tomorrow from 1 to 7 p.m. I know it's Christopher Columbus Day or Indigenous Day, for however you want to call it.
It is a holiday for a lot of people.
It is a holiday for a lot of people. So get out to Alternaverse in Hyde Park and check out Martin Zavala from 1 to 7 p.m. Tell him the Council of Comics sent you. Say hello to Anthony and everybody, and let them know that the Council of Comics sent you.
But then we've got Saturday. Hold
Saturday
on.
as well. I gotta pull that up.
I'm sending it to you.
All right, send that to me.
Come on. I hope you can see it.
Man.
Can you see it? I hope you can see it.
I see a thirst trap in the middle of the screen.
Hold on a second, guys.
Hold on, I can probably send it to you in the chat. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
because I definitely have a.
Well, I just put it in the chat, or no, I put it in directly to Sam.
I'm gonna say I have a screenshot I can send you. Here, it's in the chat. I don't know if you can yank it from the chat.
I just have to go. There it is. Got it. All right. Cool. Bang. So we have Alternative Comics presents the Mini Monster Market on Saturday, October 15th. We'll talk about this again tomorrow as well during the new key videos. But Saturday, October 15th, there'll be artists, comics, cards, cosplay, toys. They have Ryan Gary Brown, Richard Clark, Christian N. St. Pierre, plus in the store, our favorite Steve DeSario, artist Ray Lowe, our guy right here, green shirt guy, Ronaldo Pizarro, ECP Apparel, the HV Pokey Twins will be there, Epic Robot Spider, AKP Collectibles, Carryberry Boutique, Perler Playland, Crafts by VBD, Tabby's Trinkles LLC, the Hudson Valley Horrors, Robert's Isle of Misfit Toys, Plastic Attic Toys, Static Rabbit Inc., and more. Cosplay appearances by Lady Divine, 8-Armed Spidey, and David Santiago. You can come out to Haviland Shopping Plaza in Hyde Park, New York, zip code 12538. Parents, bring your kids in costumes and trick or treat.
Dave Santiago is a cosplay superstar, by the way, who Anthony and I are friends with. So remember when they did all those cosplay covers for Marvel? He was the Nova cosplay cover for Nova.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's on October 15th. And remember to head out tomorrow, October 10th, to Alternativerse.
Show them my stickers.
Check out that event.
Oh, the stickers.
Show them my stickers.
Let me pull you up
You
here.
can show them tomorrow too, but show them now. They came in Wednesday. I was happy.
There you go. Mr. Green Shirt Guy will have these available October 15th.
Yeah, we'll have those and some more stuff too, but that's the first surprise.
Yeah. I'm really feeling the Captain America face one. I like the Iron Man one too.
And come on.
Yeah.
The Encanto one.
The Encanto one as well, yes. And then Bruno.
No, I was going to say he's Bruno's the Encanto one. You were pointing at.
Excellent. We'll also remind everybody about this tomorrow as well. A new comic book. A new keys of the week. Know what I mean? All right. So, for Green Shirt Guy, Cliff, and the rest of the Council of Comics, thank you for watching. Please subscribe below. Remember, we're on Instagram and TikTok. We'll be back tomorrow, Monday night, for the new keys and hot books of the week. Same time, 8 p.m. From all of us here at the Council of Comics to you guys out there, we love you. Thank you for watching. Peace.